Titans got mad they got Green Fist of Havoc, so I decided to go through each of the subclasses and post my ideas for different supers and abilities. For Warlock, I wanted to lean into channeling the Storm more. So for the super, I want to put them in a free roam state where they summon a staff like Shadebinder. In this state, the staff emits a storm around them that does a small amount of damage to enemies inside and jolts them. Allies inside the storm get damage resistance. You can also use the light and or heavy attack, it doesn't matter which one, to harness the full storm into the staff and then throw it, upon which it explodes against environment and enemies alike for heavy damage and jolting. Afterward, you summon a new staff and recreate the storm until you run out of energy. For Hunters, I also wanted to give them an AoE effect while leaning into the initial idea for Arc Hunter being that of a warrior monk type. Upon supercast, the hunter throws his weapon onto the ground and performs the respect salute from Kung Fu, and upon palming their fist, they begin to emit a field of blinding around them. Anyone caught near the initial blast gets jolted, and they enter a melee-only free roam state. The way the field works is the closer the hunter is to you, the more intense the blinding effect. Their melee can be used indefinitely, and if you kill someone with it, it expands the radius on the blind field or intensifies the blinding effect from further away. In a perfect world, this would work with Ride and Flux. I wanted to give the hunters a melee super that felt like they were really stepping into the battlefield and sowing chaos, while also giving them a way to survive without deflect and damage resistance like in the Arc Staff super. Hunter is definitely the most melee heavy across the Arc subclasses, so I think giving them a melee super is somewhat justified for Arc. Before we get into Titan, I want you to understand some of the inspiration I had. When I think of Titans, I think of the famous quote from the Sentinel subclass, "I am the wall upon which the darkness breaks." I tried to keep that in mind for each of these videos, but I wanted to make it even more literal for Arc. So for Titan, you go into a free roam state that summons an Arc Spike, which you can throw. The spike will embed to enemies and environment alike, and upon contact, it grows to the size of about a towering barricade. The interesting bit is when multiple spikes are near each other. My idea is for it to function sort of like an enhanced anarchy, and in between the spikes creates a lightning barrier that vaporizes enemies and enemy fire. And their final ability, the spikes charge up and periodically explode. Definitely a lot of functionality, but with it you can box your enemies in and just sit back and watch as the spikes annihilate anything caught inside them. Or you can use them to support your own team against a hard-hitting boss or enemy. Thank you guys so much for watching all these videos. I really appreciate it. I plan to make one of these for Strand, but I want to see how it functions when Lightfall drops before I go messing with ideas for that. And finally, I want to go through the user comments and maybe update some of my ideas down the road. So keep an eye out for those videos if you can. Other than that, though, thank you guys so much for watching. You have a good one.